Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. I just realized I don't have my headphones on, so I can't hear myself. Sorry, it sounded like the music was being weird. How's everybody doing today? I hope y'all are well. Today, we are painting Pink Zeo Ranger from this box right here. I guess the music is being weird, so I'll just turn it off for now. Okay. Yeah, so this model is actually a giveaway model for Renegade to give away at the Renegade Community Bash. Sorry, I got a sticky note so I remember it. At GenCon this year, the event is on Saturday, August 6th in room 139, and that's going to be running from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And there will be your opportunity, your chance to win this miniature, along with the miniatures that we painted last week, the miniature we're going to paint tomorrow, and the miniatures we're going to paint 2 weeks from now. So yeah, Zeo Pink, that is what we're painting. Enough chatter from me. Let's go down to the table. All right, let's do a little zoom on the, there we go. And here she is in all of her pink glory. Actually, she's not pink yet. She is Wraithbone. That is what she is. I thought that originally I was going to paint 3 Mighty Morphin Rangers, and then I had an epiphany, that I should probably paint 1 from each show, which, hint, that means the next one will be from Turbo, because that's the other show that there is. So here she is in all of her glory. Again, just like last week when we painted one of these, she's quite small. The miniatures are quite tiny. Here is the Red Ranger that we painted last week, so you can have some reference as to what we're doing here. So I have my wet palette, which is not updating for some strange reason. That is an old camera. Don't look at that. Look at this shot here as soon as it decides to do something. Where's my wet palette camera? Come on now. I know you could see it, like the picture was there, but that stinks. Okay, well, I guess you won't have a wet palette camera today. Because I would need to completely restart the, I would have to completely restart the screen and put it back on my face and do this one more time. It's not a huge deal if it's not there. It was working earlier, and now it seems to have stopped. So, I apologize for that. I don't want you to have to look at me, though. So let's change that to this, and then change that to this, and there we go. Okay, pink we go. Into the pink zone we go. We're going to start with Pink Horror. That's going to be our base coat. We're going to lighten it up from there. My wet palette's kind of dirty anyway, so you don't want to see that anyway. So some pink goes on the palette, and then we get started. Again, Screamer Pink is kind of a darker pink color, and we're going to use this just as our base coat, just to keep us from having trouble with it sticking later to the miniature. So let's take a gander here. Unlike last week when I painted a Ranger with the color white, you know, because the Red Ranger has white on him, as most Rangers do, by the way. I decided today with this miniature I am not going to, I'm going to be very careful around the white parts. So that way it, it works to my benefit. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was reading the chat. What's up, G? G man G. Big G to the little G. OG. You're the OG G. You're the OG. Yeah, so I'm just being a little more careful than I was last week. I mean, if I get some on the miniature that I don't want, that's fine. Also, I wanted to mention that I got an injection today in my left wrist. It's not my primary wrist. It is my holding wrist, right? So it's the wrist I hold the miniature with. So, if I do a terrible job painting today, I do apologize. I don't think I will. I seem to have some control over it without pain, so that's good. That's a good thing. Anyway, I just wanted to mention it because I just wanted you guys to know. You know, I may not use a wash on this miniature. I may see how that is. Not using a wash. It's frustrating because, like, I always come down to the office area here at least an hour or more before the stream to get everything loaded in, do a test, make sure all the cameras are working, mic, music, all that stuff, which I did again today. And then sometime between when I went back upstairs and now, something screwed up. So it's frustrating. And I know it's on you know, the ideal thing would be to do all of that stuff in advance. Like a short time in advance. So ideally I would want to do, you know, turning everything on right before the stream. That way nothing screws up while I'm not around. However, I've had more times it happen when I'm logging in as it's closer, and then stuff doesn't work right, and you know, I'm supposed to go live, so I need to turn it on sooner rather than later. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So it is what it is. What it is. So far, so good. No issues. She has a white neck seal, so I need to be careful of that white. Yes, this is Pink Horror, using this as a base for the other pinks. I will brighten it up when I get to that part. I'm currently using my big brush just to get the base colors on, and then I will most likely switch to a smaller brush in a little bit. Yeah, this is a great pink. I painted my original Kimberly, or my Mighty Morphin Kimberly, with this color. But if you look at it in person, it does look slightly darker in person than it does on screen right now. So that's why we're going to lighten it up. Also, normally, like when I did Kimberly, I painted her and then I did a black wash because I put a black wash over all of my original 7 so that they would all look the same. I'm not going to do that with her. I'm not going to put a wash on her. I do need to find pictures of her shield thing, though, because my reference picture is a toy that does not have the shield. So I need to look and see what shield this is, what the shield looks like. Pink Zeo Ranger shield. Go. Really? It's silver and black? That can't be right. It was a toy. I'm trying to find one that's not a toy. I guess it is silver and black. And gold and pink. Well, that's gonna be fun. I don't know what the other side looks like, so I'm going to be painting it very basic. Alright, let's see here. So there's an inner ring, which is black, then a line, then an outer ring, which is pink, and then another outer line, which is black. So this line right here is pink. And I think that's it. And the upside too. I will probably have to go over this pink again later, but that's just trying to block in the basic colors. That's pretty. It's pretty good to get in that little detail with a large brush. But now I definitely have to switch over to the small brush in order to do the gold. Hey, Tony. Here comes Tony. Alright, gold. I'm going to use rich gold from Pro Acryl, because I'm still not using them enough. Let's see, smaller brush. Which small one do I want to use? I think I want to use this one. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Actually, I should probably do the German gray. I gotta get German gray in there somewhere. So, put a little bit of German gray. these outer slits are black. All right. And then there's one more black ring. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, right in here. Come on. My paint is not watered down enough, so it's not flowing into the groove. The grooves are so small, I'm trying to stay inside them. Here we go. All right, and then the visor. Is there a gold ring around, or is it, oh shoot, is it gold, or is it white? It's hard to tell in this picture. I'll look for another picture. Talking about around the visor, I can't see if it's silver or if it's white. Oh no. Drop of water fell from, so you gotta be careful. So that was a classic mistake that I did. So basically, the paint wasn't flowing the way that I wanted it to. So I switched. I didn't switch. I got it moist. You know what I mean? I got it wet. And I had not cleaned off my brush. And so there was a drop of water here on the fennel. And then it dripped down onto the bristles of the brush. So now it's really wet, which is fine because it'll dry. Let's see, look at the chat here. Painted in hair one, pink and silver for the shield. Yep. Doing great today. Sent some pictures to my phone. Well, my phone is upstairs. I forgot to bring it down. So thank you very much for the photos. I will look at them later. I suppose I could yell up for my child, my loving daughter, to bring me down my phone, but I think that I'll manage without it. Yeah, I personally don't think she does. I think that Zeo Pink has a brighter pink than the Mighty Morphin. Which is why we are going to lighten this pink up when we get done with the gold. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot. These miniatures are much, much smaller than the Heroes of the Grid miniatures, and therefore the details are smaller. And because I'm not doing a wash, and I'm trying to keep things white that are supposed to be white, then it means I have to be a little more careful than I normally am. That's what I'm trying to say. All of that to say, the reason that I'm not speaking is because I am concentrating. I did varnish the first two miniatures last weekend. So those are officially done. What is this other weapon on her belt? She has 3 weapons. She has a blaster on the other belt. And then she has this thing. I don't even know what it is. If anybody knows what this other weapon is. So she has a blaster and the shield. What is this third weapon? I would show it to you, but it's so tiny that it would not show up on the camera. It's like another weapon. I just need to know what it is so I can look it up. Power pod. Okay, so I gotta look up a power pod for Zeo Rangers so I know what colors to paint it. Do they all have a power pod? I'm going to guess yes. I'm going to guess that her one unique thing is her shield. And everybody else has the same stuff. Is that what morphs her? I just realized that my phone is not upstairs. I'm such a dum-dum. It's in my back pocket. Haha, photos. Now I can look. Cool. Very awesome design of a weapon. And now I know how to paint it. And now I must look at other photos of her so that I can see what I'm missing. Let's see here. Have I painted any Zeo Rangers from Heroes of the Grid? I cannot remember. I've painted so many miniatures now, I forget which ones I have painted and which ones I do not have painted. I honestly don't remember. I feel like I painted the Gold Ranger, maybe? Oh, G sent me a picture of this sword. Okay. So blue and gold. Excellent. Zeo was essentially a continuation of Mighty Morphin, right? Weren't a lot of the Mighty Morphin Rangers Zeo Rangers? Did they have the same bad guy? Was it Lord Zed the whole time? Looking at this picture of this sword thing, trying to figure out how it looks on the miniature. So that's all this stuff is silver. This part here is gold. And I need to look up pictures of the blaster. Can't just have regular weapons, huh? Gotta make it complicated, Power Rangers. in the visor. Ugh. Zed and Rita reduced to secondary characters, but they were still on the show. I think that's the what I was trying to remember. Hey, G, you got a picture of the blaster handy? Sweet. White, black, and gold. Love it. Yeah, this one is quite challenging. That specifically, like, I'm just trying to get the shield to look nice, and it doesn't. That's basically what's happening. Dogs are being spazzes. I should probably move on to the the silver. Problem with not doing a shade over the miniature is you have to do a better job on your base coat because you're not going to have that shade kind of blending stuff together and filling in cracks that you may have missed. So that's why I'm being a little more particular about how certain things look. All right, grab some Silva. And since I'm already on it, I will continue using Pro Acryls. They gave him the wrong weapon. Why'd they do that? Printing error, I guess. Or design, whatever, like sculpting. I remember I liked the pink from when we did the other Pink Ranger from the Pro Acryls. I wish that I had remembered that so I could have used that one instead of the one I used. Because that pink is a great color. I don't even remember what Ranger I used it on. I just remember I did, and I really liked it. Okay. Sorry, painting the back of the shield here. I'm just going all silver because I don't think it matters too much. Are there shapes on the back of the shield since the black outer? No, there is no shapes on the back. It's flat surface. which makes it a little more challenging, you know. Let's see, what is that inner part? My dogs are driving me bonkers. Oh, the inner part is also black. Okay. So that part in there is black. Alright, I'm going to paint the sword bit here on the belt. His power thing that you guys told me it was. Alright, let's look at this picture of this. I don't know why I keep getting... Turn off, thank you. Trying to find this picture Jay sent me. Where is it? Right there. White, black, and silver. So the tip on the end is silver. Let's paint that down here. Looks like the handle is black. The back is, no, it's white, sorry. Honestly, a lot of the gun is white, so I may just leave it like that at the top. Okay. Like I said, I'm good with the weapon being white there. I'm gonna get my friend all through. No, I'm not gonna get all through and gray out yet. What am I saying? Not yet. Not yet. Making coffee. Does anyone want one? Yeah, I could use one, please. I really want this shield to look really nice, so since it's kind of a focal point of the miniature, you know. One thing that I learned recently, and I can't remember if I've mentioned this or not, so I will mention it again in case I haven't, and hopefully someone that needs to hear it will hear it. I've recently learned that when the average human looks at art, any kind of art, just art in general, and they the first thing that happens is their eyes attach to two of the most detailed items on the miniature. That's where your eyes go. And the reason that that's important is because you want to make sure that the two most detailed objects on the miniature look really nice. And if they do, people will like your work because their eyes are so hyper fixed on those details that the other stuff doesn't matter much, especially if they're just scrolling, you know, and don't really take the time to look. And since, you know, humans have the attention span of like I don't even want to insult the chimpanzee by saying a chimpanzee, but so this shield has the most detail on it. So, and she's holding it out in front of her. And if you guys could see how small it is, it's just so tiny. What would I say the other most prominent feature is? Probably like the gold collarbone thing. But that's one solid color, so that isn't as important, I guess, as this is. Your hope here with this little guy, this little shield, is people will go, oh man, that's really detailed, and their eyes will, you know, fix on it. And they'll appreciate how small that particular thing is and how good you got it to look. Back and forth is angering me. One last little detail, and I'm going to call that shield good to go. I may actually put a wash on the back of the shield. And I know I said I wasn't going to put a wash on the miniature at all. But right now it just looks very flat. So I'm not sure. Not sure if I'm going to do that yet or not. If I do, it'll be towards the end. Because I have to have time to decide. Alright, so two things that I'm noticing that I forgot to paint. And both of them are gold. So that's... that's this little trim here underneath the dress. Shouldn't call it a dress, a skirt, uniform. Happy belated Father's Day. Thank you, good sir or ma'am. Sir or ma'am. Volstronix. Volstron X 8X. Volstron 8X. Gee, not that I'm gonna be there, but one person gonna win all 6 models. I should find that out. I actually don't know the answer to that. My guess is that it's 6 separate prizes. But I honestly don't know. I will find out, hopefully before tomorrow. And if you're on my stream tomorrow, I will try and let you know, because that is a great question. I don't think anybody from Renegade is in the chat. If they are, then please let me know so that we can get that question answered. Because that is a great question. Did anybody get Renegade's schedule for this week today? I didn't see it posted. I'm just curious if there's something after my stream today. Yes, that is correct. Three Ranger miniatures. This is my second, so there's one more after this. And that will be in... When is the next time I'm going to stream? It's a while. I apologize. So my next stream after today, that's Ranger related, will be July 11th. That's 3 weeks from today. Because the next 2 Mondays, I will be in Costa Rica on vacation. So that is where I shall be. If you need me while I'm gone, well, that's too bad because I won't be here. I'll be checking in on socials, and I still have content for folks while I'm gone, but almost done with the shield. I keep saying that, but I just want it to look really nice. And it all leads me back to... Yeah, I didn't think I saw one. So I don't know if there's a stream after mine. Usually Jordan posts it either... They usually send out an email with the week's schedule, or he posts it on social media. But sometimes both. But they may not have pushed one out today. They may all be off today, actually, since it's a holiday. Did we find out if the trim around her helmet is gold or if it's white? It looks like it's white. So I'm going to go with white. Unless someone corrects me in the next, 5 minutes. Pain in the butt. It's like, oh, that looks really good. And then I screw it up. I've got to just, let it go. Once it looks pretty decent. And then hopefully, when I get back from Costa Rica, then I will, and I start doing the regular Heroes of the Grid stuff. Hopefully by then, Time Force is here. And then I can start on that. Alright. Calling the shield. Done. Moving on to Ulthu and Gray for our whites. Sent picks, my vote is white trim. Yeah, I just looked at your... I agree with the assessment that white is the correct answer. So we'll put some Ulthu and Gray on the palette. First things first, I am going to look for white spots that may have gotten, or white items that may have gotten some some not white on them, like here around the neck seal. And here around what I call the collarbone guard or the chest guard. And that's the only cleanup we have to do on the white. Man, we nailed it today. Now I have to do the trim, which is going to SUCK. Just going to want to use the side of your brush. Make sure there's not a ton of paint on it. And then be super duper gentle. And go slow. Alright, it's not terrible. Gotta fix that little corner up, but it's crazy how much that little loop around that visor adds to the miniature. It adds so much character. Okay. She looks really good. You could totally stop here and just be done and be very happy with, you know, what you accomplished. Because it does. It looks great. but we don't do that. We push the limits. Adventures in Angel Grove. Is that the module for the RPG? The gun being white, like on the hilt and stuff, is kind of bothering me. Because it's like this white thing on the back, and I don't like it. But I just gotta deal with it. I don't know how I feel about the shield either, but that's alright. I guess it looks good on camera, so... I'm guessing it's a module for the GM to run the first part of the campaign, probably like levels 1 through 6. Maybe stats for new rangers. I'm honestly not sure. Alright, so not going to put a wash on it, although I kind of want to put a wash on the shield, if I'm being totally honest. I think I'm going to put a wash on the shield. I said I wasn't going to do a wash today, but I think I'll do the wet or the dry palette wash. That's not even the one I wanted to put it in. Then I'm going to use Laham Medium to kind of water the Nuln Oil down a little bit. Because I don't want it to be super thick, you know. Alright. I think that'll really add to it once it's dry. Alright, let's start highlighting this bad boy. Someone grab some of this Emperor's Children. It is a lighter pink, as you can see. And I'm basically going to do a 1-for-1 mix of the original color, which was Pink Horror, and this Emperor's Children. So I'm just going to put the Emperor's Children on my palette. It sounds like terrible. And I'm going to mix it up with some Pink Horror. Okay. I'm going to put it on all of the raised edges. Kind of working my way towards the crevices where I would imagine wash would be if I were to put the wash on it. It's just an adventure book. Use Stacy's phone to look at. Got some pink on a little bit of gold there. So I will have to fix that later. It's not terrible, but I did notice it happen. Your first game in 2023, was that the plan? To get it done and up and running in 2023? Or are you going to try and do it before then? I called you out, sir, for your 2023 shenanigans. Alright, now I'm going to grab pure Emperor's Children. I'm going to see how light this looks on some of the areas, like the legs here. this still looks good. Pure Emperor's Children. So I'm just looking at places on the miniature that might not hit sun, and I'm avoiding those areas completely. Still looking good as a great pink color. It does look significantly lighter in person than it looks on the screen. So don't think you're going to get like this super bright pink. It's much duller in person than it looks on the screen. Yeah, deciding that is one of the biggest challenges of miniature painting, or at least highlighting for me, is deciding where I want the light to come from and how to make it blend so that the transition doesn't look super dramatic. So usually what I do is like I think about it as if the sun is directly overhead. So I look at things like in the stance and the pose of the miniature, how the person or how the miniature is standing. I'll give you an example. So the way that she's standing, right, this leg is out further. So if the sun is coming directly at her like this, even where the shield is, this part of the leg would be lit, but under here, under her skirt and stuff, would not. Same thing with her chin, right? So underneath her chin here would be blocked by the shield and by the direction. So I'm going to stop with the color there. And then obviously the top of the helmet, that's going to be the brightest. So I usually paint that. I usually work my way from the legs and stuff up. I do have one more pink color. It's this Fulgrim pink. I am going to... If only there was short TikTok or hint video or something. It's a good. That's a good. Write that down. Text that to me. That's a good idea. Showing how to determine where light comes from. Which is a great segue into my social medias for those that don't follow me on social media. I have the TikTok and the Insta and the Facebook. And I do tip videos as well as live streams. I'm going to be doing giveaways. I've got a ton of stuff to give away, literally. So, all right, now I'm gonna take the Emperor's Children and mix it 1-for-1 with this Pulgrim pink. And now again, I'm only looking for the lightest stuff. So I'm stopping. And just every time I do this, it's just less and less than it was the first time. Less spots, you know what I mean? If anyone needs to know anything about me, I like to put humor into things. Helps make me and others laugh mostly. You heard him. Text him that to me. Is that what I said? Text him that to me? I probably did. Alright, and last color on that, I'm going to go pure, whatever this was, Fulcrum Pink. And here I'm just going to do like some lining, basically. So like the knee here, the knee here. top of the head is a little too dramatic, so I'm going to have to fix that in a moment. Let's see. So to fix the head, I just start going back steps and start at the top and work my way down until I've got a nice blend that I like. That's the problem when you're shading round things, is finding the nice transition down that you like. This is very clearly too loud of a pink. All right. She's looking pretty great. I'm just looking to see if there is anything else I can do to improve her. I guess I could go a smidge lighter on the top of that head there. Man, it's so dramatic. So dramatic of a change in the pink. I'm good with it. Lines. This may be the most particular I've been about a Ranger model in a long time. Of any kind. I'm being quite careful and I didn't even use a wash, which is crazy. I'm glad that I put the wash on the shield. I think it really rounds it out very nicely. The shield ended up turning out great, which I'm very happy with. There's really nothing else that I need to do to her. So let's start working on the base. Let's see. Let's clean this off. Everybody that's in this chat is going to get a spoiler about tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to be painting I'll give y'all a second to click away if you don't want to know spoilers about what we're going to paint tomorrow. But I figure since you guys are in the chat, I will give you first-hand knowledge of what I am painting tomorrow. Okay, well, if you're still here, it means you want to know. Tomorrow we are painting Stalker. So he should be super fun to paint. But not yet. I'm going to get black for the base. I'm just doing all my bases the same for all of the models. All of these models that I'm doing. Which is black top with color of Ranger rim around the outside. And then for the Joes, I'm just doing a static, like military blue. It's not a military blue, but I think it looks like a blue that the military would use if they were to use a blue. Normally, I think that they wear green, but you know. Actually, maybe I'll make them all different too. Maybe I'll do like a green ring, like an olive, maybe. I'm excited about Stalker, though. The scroll theory is old news. Question is, what color pink do I use? I have all these different pinks on my palette. I don't know which one I should use. I think I'd probably use the base color one. Definitely starting with that, but then probably going to go to the next color pink. Whatever that was. Emperor's Children. That was a confession. So I'm just grabbing some more Emperor's Children, which was ended up kind of being the main color. The other color was just a base color. If anyone in the chat enjoys Star Wars and you are up and up you're up and up about Obi-Wan, whether you like it or not, we have a show that we are currently doing over on our Facebook and our YouTube. Circle of Nerds, one word, on both YouTube and Facebook. And every Monday night we are discussing Obi-Wan, different things about the show. Again, whether you like it or not, it's a good place to hang out. So that's tonight at in an hour and 15 minutes. So 1 hour after we end here, over on our stuff, you can come hang out and chat with me and the rest of my crew. My Circle of Nerds pals. We call that show Into the Garbage Chute. Yeah, it's a good time. G and Tony will both tell you how much fun it is. We get quite riled up about Star Wars. And if you just like watching people paint miniatures, which I also do, you can check out my Thursday streams. YouTube and Facebook and Instagram all have my information, and TikTok at It's So Tiny, one word, except for Instagram, which is at The Real Daddy Louie. What I really need is an admin or a publicist or something to contact Instagram to see if we can get the lady who has my name to change it. I mean, I guess we could contact her directly and ask her to change her username, which would open it up for me. Because I don't think she's posted anything on Instagram for quite some time. I mean, I guess I could trademark the name. Would that work? If I trademarked It's So Tiny? Would she then legally have to give it to me? I don't know how it works. She looks really good. Like, let me see if I can... Really good. I'm super happy with how she turned out, to be honest with you. So you can see the difference between using a wash and not using a wash. But I think in this particular case it works. So the next miniature that we paint, we're going to be primarily using contrast paints to do it. Or at least basing it with contrast paints. So you'll definitely want to make sure that you come for that. So we're kind of doing, if you think about it, we're kind of doing these Rangers 3 different ways, right? Because we're doing it with a wash, without a wash, and with contrast paints. So, yeah, that's interesting. I didn't plan it like that, but I will take it. It's not pure gold. So what color is that? I thought it was pure gold. Oh, I guess it's not, huh? Can still do that. I have time. Good call, actually. Let's do it. Let's bring back our wet palette here. I'm gonna make this like 1 part wash, 1 part medium because or 2 parts medium because I don't want to dull down the gold too much. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure that the gold we already put it on the yeah, I'm kind of seeing like, are there designs around the boots too? It's hard to tell. I don't think so. Maybe around the wrists. Forearms, not the wrists. That was a great idea. Thank you for that. I'm going to grab just a little smidge of white, or I'll throw in gray, and just kind of fix up this line here around the collar. And then we are going to call this done, assuming that I don't screw it up. As I sneeze and draw a big white line across the miniature, which is totally something that I would do. you can kind of see the details on that chest now. And I think it looks pretty cool. I will make sure that I get a varnish on this thing and get it with the others. All right. Very cool. She is all done and ready for battle and ready to be roleplayed as, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm saying a lot of things that don't make sense. Alright, so that about wraps up our time together. Let me change my camera to my face. There it is. Yeah, so don't forget that you can win these miniatures that we're painting right now. So far we've painted the Mighty Morphin Red Ranger as well as Scarlet from the G.I. Joe RPG box. And now we have painted Pink Zeo. Tomorrow, like I mentioned, I will be painting Stalker from the G.I. Joe RPG set. And then I'm off for 2 weeks. And then I come back and we will do one more round of these. One more Ranger and one more G.I. Joe. And you can win all 6 of those models, or 1 of 6, or I'm not really too sure how many you can win. I'm sure you can win 1 of 6. And there's multiple winners, but I'll try and find out the answer for you on that. And you can win these at the Renegade Community Bash. That is at GenCon. And the event is Saturday, August 6th in room 139 from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And from what I understand, it's not a contest. It's like a raffle. So all you have to do is show up, play some games with your friends and with some Renegade staff, and have a chance at some cool prizes. So that is all from me. Thank you, as always, to Renegade for having me on these streams. I want you to make sure that you take care of yourself, take care of each other, paint your games, play your games. Wow, I'm tired. Play your games and paint your miniatures, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Same Renegade time, same Renegade channel. And if I don't see you then, I'll talk to you soon. Have a great week. Rolling the outro thingy. Okay. Bye.